How dare the council? How dare they challenge me over the decision to keep the girl? I can't believe their nerves. This is completely obscene. I outclass most, if not all, of those imbeciles in strength, age, and wisdom, and yet they still act as though they can push me around. Threatening to take my new thrall? I will never accept that. I will tear out each and every one of their throats. No one is taking anything from me ever again. Oh, little one. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise you'd woken up. Are you okay? You've been asleep for a while. I'm glad to hear it. I was starting to get worried. The change must have taken a lot out of you. But I'm so happy you woke back up. How long were you asleep? Well, it was about a week, but I'm not certain of the actual time frame. Time tends to blend together when you've lived as long as I have. What was I mad about? I'm sorry you had to hear that, little one. The council has decided to label you as a Code Black target. It means that you are viewed as a potential danger to our existence, and that you should be assessed and handled with if the result requires it. Hey, calm down. Now's not the time to panic, okay? Listen to me. Little one, I am not going to let them hurt you. I made them more than well aware of that. When I took you as a thrall, I put my life on the line, because I saw that you were an innocent and gentle soul. You are not the kind of person to lose control and attack innocent people. And I told them that. But they refused to just take my word. They said that they would be the ones to decide whether or not if you were a threat. I will not allow them to hurt you, little one, and I have warned them of the consequences should they try. I made a suspended declaration of war against the council that will go into effect if they attempt to harm you. The council may be the leaders of the vampire race, but they are not respected by all. I have many powerful allies that would not oppose the uprooting of the council should I ask them. They'd, in fact, jump at the chance to fight against them. Little one, you do not live as long as I have without building your fair share of connections to other communities. My friend Ragnar, for example, he is one of, if not the most strong werewolf I have had the liberty of meeting. We had a very close relationship back in the day, though recently he has spent a lot of time out in those woods of his. But I'm sure he'll come if we need him. I'm also in good standing with many of the high-ranking church officials. I made a deal with them some 20, 30 years ago, while I was acting as an intermediary between them and the council. They were surprised to learn of my age and my viewpoints. I worked hard to stop the brutal war between the church and the supernatural world, and I was mostly successful in my endeavour. There have been a few notable incidences since then, but none of those are of major importance right now. Do you see, little one? I'm more prepared for a war against these bastards than any other person on this planet. In reality, I could have crushed them ages ago and taken over. Why didn't I? Because being lead is a pain in the ass. Why am I doing all of this for you? Little one, because you're my thrall. You were just an innocent person who got dragged into this unwillingly. I can emphasize with that. More than you know. How did I become a vampire? Gosh, that must have been millennia ago. Back when I was still young and wild. I became a vampire when I was just a boy. I'm lucky that your body only stops aging as a vampire after you've fully gone through puberty. Otherwise, I'd look like a 12-year-old for all eternity, and that would make it a pain to get a drink from the local pub. I don't know what you mean. I'm not avoiding anything. Fine. I'm sorry. It's just an emotional memory for me. I was one of the lucky boys in my village. Along with my mother, we were selected to go and work for the local lord's house. He was a kind and generous man to us. He gave us a roof over our heads and a warm meal every day. My mum had a great deal of respect for that man, because she felt that he had saved our lives. Which, in a way, I suppose he had. That's why, one night, when the manor erupted into screams and chaos, my mother rushed to his side in the study to ensure that he was safe and to query as to what was happening. She told me to stay in my room. Said she wouldn't be long and that she loved me. Those were the last words I ever heard from my mother. After about 20 minutes of waiting, I grew tired and worried, so I rushed to the Lord's study to look for her. What I found was beyond my understanding at the time. The solid oak desk that the master of the estate sat at to do his work was smashed in half, and laying between those two halves was the smashed bleeding head of the Lord. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. I was too deep in shock for any of that. And then I noticed my mother. A tall stranger had her hands clasped around my mother's throat and was choking her to death. I didn't hesitate. I charged straight at the figure, but I couldn't move them. She was a vampire after all. Probably didn't even feel my struggle. I must have been no more than an ant to her. And she looked back and caught my eye. I will never forget that moment. My blood ran cold as I saw the deep, red, pulsing eyes of a vampire. I was enthralled. And while I was in that state of hypnosis, she killed my mother. And then she took her hood down and said to me, "I like that look in your eyes, kid. You look like you'd make a fun plaything." I tried my best to resist, to back away, but my legs wouldn't obey. That was the way I became a vampire, and the way I came under the service of my mistress, my maker. Unlike you, I had to lose the only loved one I had in order to become a vampire. Something I didn't even want in the first place. That's why I will never, ever let them lay a finger on you. I will never allow someone to take another person I care about again. I do not care what is required of me. Even if I have to burn this entire world to the ground and stomp on the ashes, I will keep you safe. I never want to feel that useless, that weak, ever again. It's okay. Please don't apologize. It was a fair question to ask. It's just a very sensitive topic for me. Just please don't worry about what the council decides, little one. You will always be safe by my side. I'm sorry for bringing your mood down so soon after you woke up. Can I take you somewhere to make up for it? Yeah? Where would you like to go? For some ice cream? No, nothing's wrong with it. It's just adorable that you're asking for ice cream. Okay. I'll leave you alone. It'll have to be store-bought though, seeing as all the parlours are shut. Okay then? You wanna go? Well, you will have to get dressed first. Now, little one, no need to be mad. I wasn't the one who undressed you. Maids were sure to take proper care of you as you slept. Get mad at them. I'm gonna be waiting outside the door, okay? closed at the end of your bed. Oh, and one last thing, little one. Things are going to be scary, and things are going to be different. You won't go back to the way it was before. But remember, I will always be here for you. Good. Now hurry along, before even the stores close for the evening.